This season, in ESEA at least, you guys have been having a little bit of difficulty with Elevate. I think you guys lost both of your games against them, once on Granary and then I think on Viaduct. How are you guys preparing to be able to beat them in a LAN environment and assert your dominance over their team?
Yeah, we did lose to them twice, and I guess that does make them our #1 rivals right now in ESEA, or in North America, I guess, in general. So what we take from those losses is just is basically issues of being prepared, like for map specific things. On Granary, we barely practiced the map, and Viaduct, we just had a lot of team cohesion issues, things that we need to, or we identified after losing. You know, losing is quite the wake up call. You know, like I hadn't really lost any regular season matches in quite a while, and whenever you lose, it kind of makes you just makes you question exactly what happened and take a closer look at it and try and learn. You got to be constructive when you lose. You can't just sit there and rage and blame people. So we're taking those losses as learning experiences, and I've definitely learned a few things already just from reviewing those games, and I think we'll be a lot better prepared to face them on LAN.
For a long time, the sort of story of TF2, especially at the invite LAN level, has been classic mix-up versus whatever team b4nny is on. With the relatively late season changes to classic mix-up, and some could argue they're not really looking necessarily as strong as they have in the past, do you still see them as maybe your #1 threat going into the LAN season?
You know, I would say yes, just because of the experience that they have on their team playing on LAN. But then again, they also have people that have less experience, like they introduced Indust and Zalox, who both have only played on ESEA LAN once each, I believe. And so the experience kind of factor has left them, I'd say. Elevate, on the other hand, their roster has been fairly intact for a couple seasons now, so as a squad, they're getting more experience. And I've always thought like team experience has been really the separator between the top and lower invite teams. So now that they've gained that experience, I'd say Elevate could be the contender. But I think for now, it's just impossible to say, because even last season on LAN, we saw Elevate, or the Exertus team at the time, they got 4th place, which kind of surprised everyone. So if they're playing well on LAN, I think that they would be our #1 threat, and we'd probably see them in the grand finals, assuming we make it. But if they start off weak and it just doesn't look like they're having a good LAN, I think Mixup would definitely be the team to watch out for.
Where do you see competitive TF2 going next season and then a couple seasons from now? And as we move on, this is a relatively older game at this point in time in comparison to other widely played larger esports. Where do you see TF2 in a year, in 2 years?
This last year has been one of the best in the game, in my opinion. Just more events than ever before, just with the combination of GXL, Insomnia, and all the ESEA LANs and stuff like that. So like we've had a fairly busy last few months and the next couple months too, so that's nice. So from my perspective, like things seem pretty good, but then again, you have to look at the registration numbers, like how many teams are actually playing, and I think there's going to be a constant like struggle to get people to register for the paid leagues when you have free leagues out there still, and there's huge numbers in like UGC still, I believe. So I mean, if people sign up, then I'm sure the leagues will stay. But I do always feel a little bit scared, because I think this season we like scraped by with just the minimum that ESEA required to maintain the league. So that kind of scares me. And then seeing all the growth in like Counter-Strike Go, it really just makes me wonder if they'll keep any attention on TF2 at all. As little as the game is compared to CSGO, you know, it would just make sense for them to maybe just cut it off. I don't know. I could see it happening, but again, you never really know until the season comes around. So it's another waiting game. But as long as there's events to look forward to, I will keep playing, that's for sure. And like, I don't know, there will always be people that want to compete and do it out of passion and out of, the love of the game. Maybe you'll see people retiring. I know some people from Mixup are stepping away after these seasons, but there will be replacements. It'll still be fun, it'll still be interesting, so people will keep playing.